Hey guys, welcome back to Ravenclaw Reads. I'm Courtney and you're joining me for the start of another weekly reading vlog. I haven't done one in a while, guys. I've been so busy with work and life and sicknesses and all the things. So I have a lot to catch up with you on this Monday. Wow. Okay, so the last time we spoke, I did a wrap up and I was kind of showing you some books that I had hauled, and then I was showing you the last book that I'd finished was the rule book. So I want to go over what else I finished. So I finished two more books last week. So the first book I finished was Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This was my book of the month pick. And I love Abby Jimenez. I love her books. And I loved this one too. I ended up giving it 4 stars. I would have given it 5, but there was like a side quest B plot that just didn't land for me. But I really loved the story. If you know Abby Jimenez's writing, she always infuses some sort of like mental health aspect into her books, which I greatly enjoy and appreciate. And in this book, we had fake dating, which she does often, but I liked it. And so overall, it was a really great read. Definitely liked it. And it was sort of a basic romance, which is what I wanted, kind of longer than it needed to be. And again, if that side quest plot had not been in it, we probably would have gotten done with the book sooner. But overall, very good. But nothing outshines the last book that I read, which was Ace of Spades. And this book was a recommendation. One of my coworkers is also an avid reader like I am, and after I had read We Are Not Like Them, she recommended Ace of Spades. And so I had it from the library, and I had read like the first 14 pages of it, but I kind of let it sit because there was a couple things I wanted to read in front of it. Then I was like, let me just purchase it. Number one, I'm trying to diversify my reading and collection, and I wanted to support a Black author. So I went ahead and purchased the book. Man, I'm so glad that I did, because once I got into it, I couldn't put it down. It was so good. And I even tabbed something. Like, I'm not a huge tabber. Like, I will annotate on my scribe, but generally not in books too much. So I even like tabbed this certain page. But this book follows 2 Black kids. I guess they're in the UK. They're students at a very prestigious private school. And they are the only Black students in the school. Like, that's it. And it's obviously predominantly white school. And they both become senior prefects, which, think about Harry Potter. Yes, like those types of prefects. Well, as the book gets started and the year starts coming underway, these rumors start coming out about both of these students. They don't hang out with each other. They're not friends, but the rumors are coming out. And so they are having to work together to combat the rumors and find out who is making the rumors up, because the rumors that are coming out have truth to them and they have picture evidence. And it is not good for either one of them. They both have secrets they're trying to keep. Obviously, I can't tell you the secrets, but they have secrets they're trying to keep, and so they're trying to hide and make sure they don't get exposed by the aces, who's the person writing to everybody and telling all their business. So this book had amazing social commentary, and I did end up reading the author's note at the beginning. I don't always, but I did, and the author's note talked about that this book came to her because she was a student in London. Yeah, she grew up in South London, where it is, I guess, it would be like the hood is what she said. I'm not saying that, she said it. And it's diversity, massive Black population, but her high school was 90% Black. She says she went to university in Scotland, and she realized that she was one of only. So she wrote this as a way to like sort of talk about her experience of being that only one and what it felt like to be ostracized. And in this book, the 2 Black students in school are ostracized, and the plot behind that, chef's kiss. So it started out not slow, but just a lot of build up. But once you get into like the hundreds, it's like boom, boom, boom. And like everybody is hiding something in this book. And so it was very, very good. I gave this 5 stars. Okay, so after Ace of Spades, I kind of went into a book hangover, not gonna lie. I tried a couple things, nothing was hitting. So what do? You go to the library, you go to Barnes. So let me first show you what I got at the library. I go every Wednesday. My youngest goes on Wednesdays to a math group, and so I'm there for an hour. And I was just looking around. I had 3 books on hold, and then I looked around and found one. So one book I found was The Burnout. I've actually seen this before. And this one is written by Sophie Kinsella. And says, Sasha has had it. She cannot bring herself to respond to another inane, urgent, but obviously not at all urgent, email or participate in the corporate employee joyfulness program. She hasn't seen her friends in months. Relations seems like a lot of effort. Even cooking dinner takes far too much planning. Sasha has hit a wall. Armed with good intentions to drink kale smoothies, try yoga, and find peace, she heads to the seaside resort she loved as a child. But it's the off-season, the hotel is a dilapidated shambles, and she has to share the beach with the resort's only other occupant, a grumpy guy named Finn, who seems as stressed as Sasha. How can she commune with nature when he's sitting on her favorite rock, watching her? Nor can they agree on how best to alleviate their burnout. Sasha manifesting, wild swimming, Finn drinking whiskey, getting pizza delivered to the beach. When curious messages seemingly addressed to Sasha and Finn begin to appear in the sand, the two are forced to talk about everything. How do they get so burned out? Can either of them remember something they used to love? And the question they try and fail to ignore. What does the energy between them, flaring in the face of their bone-deep exhaustion, signify? So this seems really cute. It's not high on my list to read, but it seems cute. I picked it up before I did other book shopping. Then I picked up the most recent book by the same author of Ace of Spades because I'm like in a trance. This is Where Sleeping Girls Lie, and I definitely want to read it. It says Sade Hussein is starting her 3rd year of high school, this time at the prestigious Alfred Nobel Academy boarding school after being homeschooled. Misfortune has been a constant companion throughout her life, but even Sade doesn't expect her new roommate, Elizabeth, to disappear after Sade's first night, or for people to think she had something to do with it. So again, we kind of have the same premise of people probably accusing Sade of wrongdoing. So excited about that. And then I found a book, I heard about a book, That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. That cover is hilarious to me. It says, all she wanted to do was live her life in peace, maybe get a cat, expand the family spice farm. Really anything that didn't involve going on an adventure where an orc might rip her face off. But they say the goddess has favorites, and if so, Sin is clearly not one of them. After Sin, in a wine-drunk stupor, saves the demon Fallon, he reveals that all he really wants to do is kill an evil witch enslaving his people. And who can blame him? But now he's dragging Cinnamon along for the ride, whether she likes it or not. On the bright side, at least, he keeps burning off his shirt. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay, so this looks cute. It's pretty lighthearted. The writing's big. And I just, like I said, I heard about that. And then I also picked up The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. This is a new book. I haven't read that much from Rachel Hawkins. I did try The Villa, but didn't understand like where we were going with it. And so I think this one is like a mystery thriller, so I'm not going to read the inside cover, but I don't want to spoil it. That's the book that I got. So those are the library books that I got. But that wasn't enough, because then I went to Barnes because I just kept watching other videos and I haven't been to Barnes in a while, and I do have my Kindles, but sometimes you just want to hold a book. So the first book I picked up randomly, it's called Mom Jeans and Other Mistakes by Alexa Martin. This is what I'm currently reading. And Alexa Martin wrote Better Than Fiction and The Neighbor Nemesis. I love The Neighbor Nemesis, did not care for Better Than Fiction, but I'm really liking this one. This one's more lit fic, but it was in the romance section, so okay. But basically, two best friends, Jude and Lauren, are living together. Lauren has a child, she's a single mom, and Jude is like a free-spirited influencer, and they're just navigating life. And so I have been into my literary fiction grind, so really loving this, and it's moving pretty fast. And I actually then found it at the library on Libby, so I do like to have a digital and a paper copy, but I wouldn't have bought it if it was on Libby. But maybe I wouldn't have found it either, so this is really good. Then I picked up Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. Everybody's been talking about this. And so this is about Emily Wilde. She's a professor. She's on the hunt for fairy folk, and she goes to a town and finds another person who's kind of on the hunt, but he's got a secret and she's trying to figure out what it is, and there's romance involved. And then I saw this on, what is it, Kayla's Bookish Corner or something like that. She was talking about this book, The Kiss Countdown. It's a cute romance about a soon-to-be astronaut and a woman who is jobless at the time and newly single, but they come together, they fake date, and you know it's going to end in romance, and that cover is so cute. And then the last book I picked up was Gleanings. This is stories from the Arc of a Scythe. You guys know I was obsessed with Neil Shusterman's Scythe series last year. And this is just like a selection of short stories, and so I was here for it. But I am done buying books for now. I'm going to focus on Mom Jeans and Other Mistakes, and that's it for Monday. Okay, I will come back tomorrow. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. I can't believe I did this 2 days in a row. Just hopping on to give you an update on my reading for today. So today was a very busy day. If you've been following my channel, you know that I mostly work from home, but there are days that I go into the office, and today was one of those days. And it's like, this is no way like bashing anything, but for me, when I go into the office, it really throws off my day if I'm not going to be there the whole day, because it's like the travel time and then like getting yourself situated. It's like the gear up to go, and then you come back and there's like still stuff you have to do. So tomorrow I have like a huge to-do list I need to chop down, and so I have less meetings, so I have time to do that, which will give me more energy to read when I'm done with the day. But I did read today, and I finished Mom Jeans and Other Mistakes. This is the book I was reading by Alexa Martin. I have a Kindle version, and I also have the physical copy that I purchased. So I ended up giving this book 3 stars. I really wanted to love this book. I was so excited about it. So this book follows Jude and Lauren. They're longtime friends. They now live together, as Lauren is a single mom now and is in a custody battle with her ex-husband. Jude is like a single, like firecracker, sort of party wild girl who is learning to set boundaries with her mother, herself, and like her, and just creating a life for herself. So that's like the general premise. It started out really strong for me. I really enjoyed the dynamic, the writing style, and I think the thing about Alexa Martin is that I keep buying her books or reading her books because I really like the way she writes, and I like the dialogue, and I just like the formation of her sentences. It's very clear. Chapters are short. It all flows, except the story stalls. And so for me, reading this book just felt like each page, like we weren't progressing in the story. We were kind of like almost on Groundhog Day with like the same things happening. So the whole premise of the story, along with them being roommates and sort of figuring out their life as they start a podcast, as a way to sort of show that Lauren is a great single mom. She goes through ups and downs, and she's going to create a following of people that really love her and the things that she does as a mom. But I guess the thing that stalled for me was just like the conversation and the custody battle that Lauren was going through. And like, there was just nobody really to root for in that, because Lauren was kind of annoying in that piece, and of course the ex was. And then there's definitely a love interest for Lauren that came around, and you could clearly see where that was going. So it wasn't the best. So now I'm starting to like rethink how I feel about Alexa Martin as an author. So like I said, I read The Neighbor Nemesis, and really enjoyed that book. I thought it was great. It was funny. It was like my sort of romance where the main character, female, kind of goes back to her hometown, to her roots, and falls in love with an old high school friend. Like that. It's my jam. I started Better Than Fiction. I think I DNF'd it. And then this is Mom Jeans and Other Mistakes. Gave it 3 stars, barely. So maybe she's not for me, but I really like her writing. So I don't know. We'll see. But so that is done. And I felt like it was dragging on, which I hate that feeling. So now I'm going to read Where Sleeping Girls Lie. I'm so excited about this one because this is the same author of Ace of Spades. I just finished that, and I really liked also that writing style, but the premise of the story and sort of just the creepiness of it all. And this is kind of has a bit of the same. So I'm looking forward to jump into that. I'm gonna try to see if there's a Kindle copy too, so I can read both formats and get started on that. If not, then I might do maybe Babysitters Club on my Kindle. I haven't read one in a while, and I'm on book 35, so it is time to pick that up. But that is my plan. Glad that I finished something. And now moving on to this. Ace of Spades moved fairly fast, but I read it sort of over a weekend, so we'll see how this goes. So that is update for Tuesday, and I'll come back tomorrow. Hey guys, welcome back and happy Sunday. Yes, it is now Sunday. The last time I vlogged was Tuesday. I'm really trying to balance like the content I'm putting out, the time that I have to put it out, and just like what I want to do. So part of me really likes the weekly wrap up because it's just one video and I can talk about all the things that I've read this week, and I feel like it's a better like summary. The other part is like the weekly vlog is really great to like see and dial in day by day what I'm doing, but honestly like sometimes I'm not doing that much. So this week was not a great reading week. I shouldn't say that. I read some, but it wasn't like my normal. And I think it's like a double-edged sword because part of me has been waiting for books to come out that were on my list to read, and now it's getting closer to those books coming out, and so I'm sometimes hesitating on picking up a new book because I am waiting for the new book to drop. So that's kind of where I am right now. I'm in a holding pattern. I'm waiting for Funny Story to come out on Tuesday. That's by Emily Henry. I don't know much about the premise of that story, but she is an auto-buy author for me, so like doesn't matter. And I've been trying to get into a couple of books this week, and it just hasn't happened for me. So let me tell you what else I did. So last time we left off, I was picking up Where Sleeping Girls Lie, and this is by the same author who wrote Ace of Spades. I ended up soft DNFing this, so I bought a copy on my Kindle. I'm going to return this copy to the library. I like the premise already. However, the premise of this book is very similar to Ace of Spades, and so it was just too soon for me to read this. So nothing wrong with it. It's just very much similar to Ace of Spades, and so I'll come back to that. Then I read, solely because I wanted to complete a book, Babysitters Club number 35, and that was what is it, Stacy and the Mystery of Stony Brook, or something like that. And I ended up giving that 3 stars, just the most basic rating. 3 stars is the most I'll give any, or the least I'll give any Babysitters Club book. I just did not love this book, and honestly, I can't even remember what it was totally about. I finished it on Wednesday, I want to say, and I mean, if you had $1 million to quiz me on that book, I would just lose out on money because I don't remember much about the book, but I remember it not being the best. And so did that. And then I read a book called The Quit List. The Quit List was on Kindle Unlimited, and it was a cute little romance, just your basic romance. And I ended up giving that 3 stars too. And I think for me, what I'm finding is that I'm getting a little tired of romance novels. It has to be really, I guess, exceptional or written in a different way. So let's see. I'll just read the synopsis for The Quit List. It says, Holly Green is on a mission to find her happily ever after, and her journey to love does not include a detour to bad boy Bartenderville population Jax Granger. Jax may be witty, smart-mouthed, and handsome, but he's the kind of guy who views love as 4-letter word, and the last thing Holly needs is to waste any more time. She's in her seeking Prince Charming era, not her playboy villain era. But after he saves her from the world's worst date, Holly sees an opportunity. Jax may not check any of the boxes on her list, but he's the perfect person to help her find a man who does. All she has to do is stick to the plan and stay out of the sexy bartender's arms. So it's on Kindle Unlimited if you're interested. It was cute. It's just very, very basic. And you can tell from the synopsis where it's going to go, right? And it does actually just go there. So that one's pretty new. It came out April 5th, but did not love. And I think, again, it's because where I am in my reading. So then I was like, okay, let me find something else to read. And I had a book on reserve at the library that came through. It's called Murder in the Family by Kara Hunter. I'm still in the middle of reading this, but very slowly. So this book is all about a guy who was found dead by his stepson and trying to figure out who did it. And they're doing this through a documentary. And the cool thing about this book, and I love these types of books, where they have like the different types of media in the book. So I'm reading this on Kindle. And so you see like you have like newspaper clippings. You have text messages. I'm trying to go back. Every person that's involved, they had their resume, so you knew like what kind of role they had. So I love those types of books. Reminds me of Hidden Pictures in the same sense that it has like those other qualities in it. What stopped me yesterday, and this is so petty, but it was like it's like an hour and 8 minutes to finish one chapter. And I know they're going by episode, but that literally just threw me off. So I was like, okay, I'm put that down for now, but I will come back to it. So as you can see, it was a lot of picking up books and putting them back down this week. And I am hopeful that I can just read funny story and it'd be really, really good. And so that's my plan. I also thought about picking up Daisy Hates today. So I read Daisy Hates, or I started it a few months ago, like maybe September. And I did like it. I just stopped because I had some other books that came before it on the line of books. And so I could pick that up just to read something until Tuesday, or I could be okay with not reading anything until Tuesday. This month I've read 8 or 9 books. And again, it's not necessarily about the total number, but I like to have a certain amount, and I'm well on my way to my reading goal for the year. So it's okay if this month wasn't spectacular. Lots of great books coming out in May. I actually was going to do a whole pre-order because Barnes & Noble is having their pre-order sale where if you're a member, you get your 10% off plus 25% off for pre-ordering. And I had a cart of like 11 books that I was ready to pre-order. And then I was like, no, like, what am I going to do with these books? Get them on the Kindle, because that's the whole point of having the multiple Kindles and the pricey Kindles, is so that I can have the books digitally. Because I don't know where I'll put 11 more books, honestly. So yes, anyway, that is everything that's happened this week. It was not exciting at all, but thank you so much for staying with me, my new subscribers for jumping on, and we'll be pushing out more content. Comment down below if you like the weekly, sort of you see each day what I'm doing, or the weekly wrap up. What is your preference? I kind of like the weekly wrap ups, but would like to hear what you think as well. If there's any other videos you think that you would like to see from me, I'm having a little bit of creative block for my Thursday videos. I haven't been posting them, but I am doing the daily shorts every day, so you can always touch base with me there. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.